From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is Wake Up Weather.
Good Friday morning. I'm Kelly Rawson in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. We're live at 6 a.m. and we have a lot to discuss this morning. We do have a storm threat for today, and I will tell you what we exactly can expect later on this afternoon and evening with a few stronger storms in the forecast. We also have some very cold air on the way for the second half of the weekend. So we have the tale of two seasons, certainly talking spring for today and then closer to winter as we get to Monday. But we will have everything you need to know here in this weather update on this fantastic Friday morning. Clouds are starting to move in, so we'll start with current conditions and then I will map out the rest of the weekend forecast here as we typically do here on Fridays, as well as some weekend events going on. But temperatures across the region right now are more on the mild side, especially compared to earlier in the week. We are in anywhere from the upper 40s into little nooks of North Alabama to the mid 50s in some places. So a warmer start today. It will be a warmer day for this afternoon as well. Winds are pretty calm right now, but we will start to see much more windier conditions later on this afternoon. Gusts up to 20 miles an hour by this afternoon with a breeze out of the south. And we are not doing too bad in terms of our visibility out there. So fog not an issue this morning. Not many hazards out there this morning for you, but you will see again a different scenery this morning with clouds starting to move on in. Mostly cloudy already here in Lawrenceburg. Temperatures in the lower 50s with a breeze out of the south blowing about 9 miles an hour at this time. We are continuing to see those clouds move in. A beautiful pink hue to the sky. A nice sunrise out there. Temperatures close to 60 degrees in Florence on our sensor. Temperatures again on the warmer side for today with the breeze out of the south, keeping us on the warmer side over into Columbia. Those clouds starting to filter on in a nice calm scene downtown on the square. Good morning to you folks in Murray County. So for today, we do have the potential for thunderstorms. In fact, we are expecting thunderstorms later this afternoon and evening. Just how strong those are, that's something we are not quite convinced of. We may see a few stronger storms in the mix. Our threats, I will have those more in detail here in just a moment, but it's looking like maybe some gusty winds, maybe some hail with these storms for today. The SPC has part of our viewing area on a level 2 out of 5 risk for severe storms, but again, I'm really thinking this is a lower end type threat with thunderstorms. Again, thunder and lightning, maybe some gusty winds, maybe a stronger storm or two in the mix, maybe a storm misbehaving. Otherwise, we are looking at a lower end type threat for today, but something we still do need to pay attention to and communicate with you. So let's go ahead and play through Futurecast for the morning and the first part of the afternoon. We will be relatively dry. Clouds continue to move in. We will see a few holes in those clouds, a few peaks of sunshine, warming us up into the lower 70s this afternoon. Otherwise, maybe just a stray shower or two over the next several hours until we get later on into the afternoon. That's when we will start to see those storms pop up and move through. Now, we are expecting storms regardless. Now, just how strong they will be, again, that does remain the question and something that we are just not too concerned with. However, we will start to see those storms fire up by about 3-4 o'clock to our northwest and then continue to push southeastward throughout the rest of the afternoon. Again, some of these storms, like I said, they still may be on the stronger side. We're just not seeing that as a widespread issue for today. Maybe some gusty winds, maybe some hail, like I mentioned. That is pretty much the extent of it as we still continue to see storms move through closer to the state line, a little bit deeper into the evening after dinner time, continuing to dive southeastward south of the Tennessee River by about midnight and then exiting our viewing area. We'll see some clouds lingering for your Saturday, maybe a few showers lingering, but that is pretty much it. We are starting to calm down heading into Saturday. So here's a bit of a more specific breakdown of the threats. Our main concerns, even again, a lower end type threat, going to be some damaging wind gusts, 45 to 60 miles an hour. Again, maybe 1 or 2 storms here or there may experience that for a brief moment. And then maybe some hail as well. Tornado threat can never be completely zero, but it is just something that we are not worried about. We're also not worried about a flooding risk. Again, most of these thunderstorms are going to be general, typical run-of-the-mill thunderstorms with maybe a stronger storm in our viewing area at some point. But with that cold front moving through, we are going to see another reinforcing shot of very cold air heading into Sunday, going to cool us off. And again, we are going to be feeling like winter by Monday morning. You'll see here on Sunday, mostly dry clouds still around, though. That wind, though, out of the north is going to be quite brutal and going to cool us off. We'll only reach the 50s for your Sunday, and then for Monday, even colder. Now overnight Monday, or I should say Sunday night into Monday, we may see some lingering moisture. We may squeeze a few snow flurries out of that. Now we've been talking about that for the last few days, and we've been saying no impacts and no accumulation is expected, and that has not changed and is not expected to change. So again, we're not expecting impacts, but you may see a few snowflakes falling from the sky overnight and for Monday morning. Just don't want you to get caught off guard, but we are going to see very cold air. Monday is going to be breezy as well. Wind chills into the 20s. Yes, Monday is going to be a very cold and miserable day. Unfortunately, of course, it has to fall on Monday. But hey, we know in advance, so we can prepare ourselves for a very cold day on Monday. You will have to bundle up and layer up, but we will see the sunshine by the second half of the day. But our next best rain chance certainly for this afternoon and this evening with showers and storms expected. A few lingering showers for the weekend again, as temperatures fall below freezing Sunday night and into Monday with any lingering moisture. Again, not going to be much of it to work with, but we may squeeze out a few snow flurries. Again, no impacts expected by any means. Your morning drive is looking pretty uneventful. Clouds continuing to move in. We may see a few light showers around, but I'm really not thinking so. We stay mostly dry, but you may want to grab the rain gear because you will need it later on this afternoon. And just keep that in mind for any Friday evening plans as well. We are expecting storms to move through. Just how strong they are, that does remain the question. But of course, we will be here watching those storms on radar, and if there are any warnings issued, of course, we will be live with coverage until the threat is over. But we are not expecting those storms until mainly after the 2 o'clock hour. Again, that's for our far northwestern viewing area. For North Alabama, you folks are waiting until around dinner time for those storms to move in, but temperatures will eventually reach the low to mid 70s before cooling off significantly heading into a Sunday. Saturday temperatures are still okay in the 70s, but we stay a little bit unsettled with some lingering rain for Saturday as well as Sunday, but we are drying out, not as high of a rain chance by any means compared to this afternoon. But then again, Sunday into Monday, that is going to be probably the most impactful day of the next few days. We are going to see temperatures plummet, only reaching the 50s by Sunday afternoon and then plummeting well below freezing, area-wide freeze definitely expected down into the upper to mid 20s Sunday night. Again, not much moisture to work with, but there may still be some moisture passing through the Tennessee Valley, so we may squeeze out a few snow flurries by Monday morning. Again, it's going to be very cold and breezy. Again, wind chills probably staying in the 20s with air temperature struggling to reach 40 degrees. So a very, very cold Monday is in store, a very cold Sunday night and Monday night, but we warm back up into the 50s by Tuesday, and then we are right back into the lower 60s by Wednesday. So we have quite the tale of two seasons. Again, like I said at the beginning of this forecast, spring for today, and then we are full-blown basically winter by Monday. But hey, it is the South, it is November, so that is something that we sometimes expect here, those big swings in our weather patterns, and that is exactly what we have in store for this weekend. So that's a check at your local weather forecast. Let's go ahead and talk about some events going on this weekend after we make it through today's storms. On Saturday, we have Roman Ride Day in Rogersville, Alabama at Blue Water Equestrian. That's from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. It is $60 per person. There will be vendors, food trucks, photos, and games out there. Of course, this is for all of you horse folks down there in Rogersville. St. Joe Marketplace happening at the St. Joe Civic Center from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. This is a holiday vendor event, so be sure to get your shopping on. A community food drive happening in Fayetteville, Tennessee. So if you or you know any family in need, send them to Higgins Funeral Home. That starts at 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. or until supplies run out. Again, that is on Saturday morning. There will be a pet adoption event in Lawrenceburg at Advance America. That is from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. There will be a fall fish fry to benefit your Crossroads Volunteer Fire Department in Leoma. There will be a fried catfish meal from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. So you might as well go for both lunch and dinner to get you a good meal out there. Christmas at the Manor is happening in Lawrenceburg at the Mockingbird Manor. That is from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. There will be photos with Santa, local vendors, and games set up out there. Veterans Celebration happening at the factory in Columbia from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. Of course, that is ahead of Veterans Day. That is on Tuesday. There will be food, shopping, and music out there at the factory. Letters to Santa, already time to let Santa know what we all want for Christmas. So get those wish lists ready and then head out to Waynesboro at Jack's Shack Patio from 3 p.m. until 7 p.m. You can write letters to Santa. There will also be milk and cookies, maybe enticing all jolly old Saint Nick to come out. But go ahead and head out there if you want to send those letters to Santa already. There will be a holiday market on Sunday in Huntsville at Mid-City from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. I believe they will have up to 150 vendors set up out there, all local vendors. Of course, there will be a benefit ride on Sunday for Gary Osborne in Wayne County. That is at the Wayne County Bridle and Saddle Club. That starts at 1 p.m. There will be, of course, trails, food, and games, all to benefit, again, Gary Osborne. Also on Sunday, there will be a chicken drop in Minor Hill at the State Line Lounge. It starts at 4 p.m. They will also be serving cornbread. Another thing happening on Sunday, a fall festival in Iuka, Mississippi at the First United Pentecostal Church from 4 p.m. until 7 p.m. There will be chili, candy, and hay rides out there. If you have any events going on in your community, you can always send me an email with those details. The email's right there on the screen, kelly@tnvalleyweather.com. Hope everybody has a wonderful Friday. Again, storms expected this afternoon. Lower end type threat, maybe a stronger storm or two with some gusty winds and some hail. And then do not forget, we are going to be very cold Sunday night and Monday.
You're watching